Okay, bankruptcy issues. How many of you have been totally frustrated with the whole bankruptcy deal? You know, you send a client to a bankruptcy attorney, you never see him again, you don't know what to do, your client wants to declare bankruptcy, and you know it's just not going to happen with a short sale. How many of you are in that situation? How many of you are in a current short sale where you have a bankruptcy in the background pending, or there's a bankruptcy attorney involved? Okay. Let me say this, and this is not always the case, but I'm going to generalize here. Bankruptcies and short sales don't always mix. And the reason why is because bankruptcy attorneys and the realtors, short sale agents, have completely different agendas. Okay? The bankruptcy attorney's main deal is, number one, to discharge all the debt, or to discharge a lot of the debt and let them keep the house. Well, both of those things are not consistent with a short sale. Okay? The other big thing is that most lenders, when you go through a bankruptcy, they're not willing to negotiate a short sale. There is not any form. Okay, I've been hired by lenders before to lift the bankruptcy stay. Lift it, meaning that there's a bankruptcy pending. So I go to court and I remove the bankruptcy stay to enable the lender to do whatever they want to do with the house. Okay, that's legally what I have to do when the bankruptcy's there. I've never been asked, never, ever, been asked to lift the bankruptcy stay for a short sale. I've always been asked to lift the bankruptcy stay for a foreclosure. Okay? Why? Because lenders don't know that there's a short sale potential after a bankruptcy. Most of them know that there's forms in bankruptcy court. You just check boxes off and you file the thing. It takes 20 minutes. You file it, you get a hearing within 20 days. That bankruptcy's gone off the collateral and they can foreclose on the house. Okay? If they were to tell me, John, go ahead and lift the bankruptcy stay because we want to short sell this property, there's a lot more work that needs to be done because the bankruptcy courts don't understand the short sale process. They understand foreclosure very well, but they don't understand short sale, so they don't know what that means. Okay? So there's a lot of work that would need to be done to do a lifting of the stay for short sale. Most lenders don't want to deal with that. They don't want to pay their attorneys to do a short sale, a lifting for a short sale. They want to do it for a foreclosure because they know exactly how much it's going to cost. It doesn't cost more than $1,000. It doesn't. It's a form, and I can do a court call. Okay, pretty easy. So once the house is in a bankruptcy, means there's a bankruptcy petition filed, the chances of you getting that short sale, minimal, close to zero. Okay. Now, will the environment change? Maybe. The environment changes all the time. Right now, the chances are very minimal. Lenders will not play ball and let you short sell that property. Okay. Okay. So investors are not willing to negotiate after a Chapter 7. Now, Chapter 13 is a different animal. The Chapter 13 actually allows the borrower to keep the house. That's not conducive to a short sale, right? Is it? Not unless they want to do it after the fact. Okay, but that's not really conducive to a short sale either. So why do a lot of the way this comes together is this. Why do bankruptcy attorneys and agents butt heads? And the reason is pretty simple. Bankruptcy attorneys need the house debt to qualify their clients for a bankruptcy. Okay? What does it mean by the house debt? The house debt means they're upside down in the house. $100,000 upside down, that's debt. They need that debt to qualify their clients for a bankruptcy. But they can't qualify their clients for a bankruptcy if the people have abandoned the property. They have to keep their clients in the house. So what's their number one suggestion? By the way, this is not anecdotal. This is not anecdotal evidence. This is not just stories I'm making up. This is directly from my friends who do bankruptcy law. Okay. So what did they do to keep their clients in the house? They contact the real estate agent. They say, go contact the real estate agent and see if they can push back the sale date. So an agent gets involved. They push back the sale date under the proposition that this is going to short sell. And lo and behold, when the bankruptcy attorney is ready to do the filing, the short sale is gone because the bankruptcy petition is filed. Okay? And then you're calling the bankruptcy attorney going, what happened? I thought we were short selling this thing. No, we decided to file the bankruptcy. Okay? That happens a lot. And the reason they do that is because they want to keep their clients in the house while the bankruptcy is pending. Okay? So be aware of that. I'm not saying all bankruptcy attorneys are snakes by any means. But what I'm saying, and they're not. I mean, they're doing what's the best for their client. It's their fiduciary duty. Okay? Attorneys have a bigger fiduciary duty than even you have. Ours continues past the listing agreement. Okay? Ours continues forever. I can never represent against a client who I've represented 10 years ago. Okay? Mine is forever. So their fiduciary duty is very strong with their clients. They're not gonna throw them under the bus to help you get a commission. Okay? So they'd rather throw you under the bus. Okay? And if it means keeping your clients in the house and keeping you kind of like in the dark for a few months, that's what's gonna happen. Okay? Okay. So be very wary of getting a referral from a bankruptcy attorney. So don't bang your head against the wall if it's a dead end. Okay? Ask questions. Mr. Bankruptcy Attorney, are you still intending on filing bankruptcy here? Okay? Are you still intending on filing bankruptcy here? Be very wary of that. Ask the proper questions. And if the answer is yes, the chances are it's not going to short sale. Okay? If you have not, go to the DRE website and look at the fraud alert. Very important. Okay? One of the big things that the DRE harped on for September was short sale negotiators. First of all, the DRE takes the position that short sale negotiators need to be licensed. That doesn't mean that you can't employ somebody who works under you to call the bank and negotiate. Okay? What they're talking about is these companies who have no license who are doing short sale negotiations. Okay? Be very wary of that. The other thing that the DRE was harping on is the short sale negotiator fees. If the short sale negotiator is doing this roundabout where they're getting short sale negotiation fees from the buyer, be very careful with that kind of transaction, because who's the short sale negotiator working for exactly? I mean, they're getting fees from the buyer, but they're negotiating from behalf of the seller. It's a very difficult, there's a conflict of interest, there's all kinds of different things. The short sale negotiators sometimes don't even submit the addendums to the lender, so there's lender fraud going on. Be very wary. If you really don't want, you don't have the stomach, I mean, you get a lot of listings, but you don't have the stomach for negotiation on a short sale, do yourself a favor. Seek out somebody else in your office who does very well with negotiation. Share your commission with them. Do it that way. Okay? Because hiring an outside company you don't really know anything about, they're not licensed, is bad news for agents. So be very wary of that. The other thing to be very careful of is short sale flipping. Short sale flipping is a big problem right now. And it's really, what happens is these investment companies come to agents and say, hey, listen, how many of you have been approached about this or got an email about this? Ms. Agent, we want to use you twice on this transaction. You can list the house for your client, sell it to us, and then we'll use you when we sell it, because we're not going to hold on to this property. Okay? What inevitably happens is that these companies, these investors, require you to lowball the bank. How else can they make money? If they made a full faith offer, full market value offer, how are they going to make money? Unless it's a true flipper, which puts equity into the house. That's not what's happening here. Okay, what's happening is they'll require you to lowball the bank. They'll say, hey, as part of this transaction, we just want you to present our offer, and you need to tell them that the house is worth $240 instead of $300, which is what it's really worth. The bank says, I'm using a broker price opinion here. That's fine. I'll say it's $240. Whatever. What does it matter? My client is losing the house anyway, right? Bad thing to do. Why? Because what's happened is that, number one, is that you've committed lender fraud. And by the way, there's been 2 reported cases where agents have been prosecuted by the federal government for lender fraud on these types of transactions. Okay? Number 2, you're throwing your client under the bus. What you've done is that you've increased their deficiency judgment potentially. If you sell it for $240 versus $300 and the house is, and they owe $400, you just increase their deficiency if there's possible deficiency. Okay? So you're going wrong on 2 ends there. Everybody understand what I just said? There is no exclusion for material facts that are known. Okay? And I know that banks have the buyers sign these nice documents that say, we have no idea what's going on. But if they really do, and if you as a listing agent for the bank know the house is sliding down the hill, okay, you have to disclose it. Nothing is as is in California if you know something is wrong, okay? Okay? Yes. Well, if it's fixed, it's different than hiding it. If it's fixed, it's fixed. If it's hidden, it's fraud. When there's a tax lien on there, the county jumps ahead of the first and the second. It's by law. The county can sell the property, and they've sold it, and the short sale is not going.
It's done?
It's done.
There's no recourse, nothing you can do?
Nope.